I'm telling you with certainty, please look me in the eye through this camera right now. It's one of the most important segments I've done in a long time. I've been getting some more stuff lately from people who, as our show grows, more and more people are piling in and more sources are piling in, that a lot of what we've been talking about is coming out. So let's get to it. Folks, Obama knew. The Obama administration clearly knew what they were doing here. They were spying on political candidates. Now you may say, well, that's not news. Well, I got kind of a little pointer from a friend and then someone else who I'm a little skeptical of, but a friend the other day kind of put me in this story. And it's interesting how they both came in roughly at the same time. Do you remember this WikiLeaks drop about this memo? This was a Democrat Party memo from Hillary's campaign team that was seen by a lot of influential Democrats, and I'm sure including people in the Obama administration. I want you to check this out. You can read I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's a portion down halfway below. If you want to read it, go to youtube.com/Bongino. It doesn't really matter because there's one portion of it that sticks out. This is a memo from the Hillary campaign team to the Democratic National Committee. They talk about Pied Piper candidates on the Republican side that they want to pump up. And who are these three candidates? Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, and Ben Carson. What do they mean by that, the Pied Piper candidates? Remember what we're talking about. I just gave you the lead. We didn't bury it. The lead is this is a spying scandal, not a Trump scandal. That's why I called my initial book on it Spygate and not Trumpgate.
All right.
The Pied Piper candidates they were looking at, the whole theory behind the memo was that the Democrats wanted to pump up these three candidates, Trump, Carson, and Cruz, because they thought they were renegades. And that by pumping up these candidates, Hillary Clinton, they thought stood a better chance of winning against them, against more of the establishment guys like Scott Walker and others, who they frame as establishment. I'm not doing that. But they called them the Pied Piper candidates, Cruz, Carson, and Trump, because they were renegades and because they were unpredictable. Now, Joe, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think in the field of politics, would you rather be able to predict what someone's going to do? It's not a trick question. Or would you rather be confused by their next move?
You want to be able to predict them, Daddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That memo, ladies and gentlemen, leaked by WikiLeaks is very telling because it shows you that the Democrats weren't really worried about Walker or Rubio because they could pretty much predict based on standard Republican talking points in the past exactly what they were going to do. They couldn't predict what was going to happen with Cruz, Carson, and Trump. So what did they do? Well, how would you predict what they did? Maybe if you spied on them. But it's interesting that we have these Five Eyes intelligence partners, these friendly governments, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and others. We have these Five Eyes partners where we share intelligence, Joe. But the intelligence is supposed to be basically counterterrorism type things and intelligence for national security. It's not supposed to be political information. Right. What was the genesis of this CNN article then if they were just sharing national security information? Because this seems kind of odd. Keep in mind, Cruz, Carson, Trump. April 14, 2017, CNN, an article that's still up there, has never been retracted. British intelligence passed Trump associates' communications with Russians onto U.S. counterparts. So now we know, according to CNN's own reporting, this is fascinating, Joe, that the UK, United Kingdom, was effectively spying on the Trump campaign at the behest of the U.S. government under the guise that it was being done for national security when we now know that was all a hoax. Another interesting piece at Business Insider, which kind of nails this thing to the wall from the past. You'll see these up at the show notes today, again, at Bongino.com. Go to Bongino.com/newsletter, sign up for my newsletter. I'll email you these stories every day. You'll be read in good. Business Insider, headline. British intelligence reportedly told the CIA months before the election that Trump's campaign had illicit contacts with Russia. Folks, British intelligence and some of their GCHQ representatives, they have access to some facilities our guys do too. So if the Obama administration can't spy directly on the Pied Piper candidates, Cruz, Carson, and Trump, because they're unpredictable, and the Obama team and the Hillary team wants to be sure they can predict what's next. If we can't spy, our friendly UK friends can. And being that we're co-load in a couple different locations, it probably wouldn't be hard to say, hey, UK, can you do a little bit of spying and kind of pass the note next door? Well, what's fascinating is because a couple of folks over there in the UK intelligence, I will guarantee you, I am reasonably confident that what's about to come out, mark this show, what's today's date? It is December 18th. That a lot of the information that happened to appear in various dossiers and other types of opposition research may be similar information that was passed from the United Kingdom over to the United States. How could that be? I thought this was Five Eyes intelligence sharing, not opposition political research. Maybe if we slide it to the opposition research guys, then we can then give it to the FBI and pretend it came from them and not from an illicit spying operation being run by foreign governments to circumvent U.S. anti-spying on American citizen laws. Give it to the Oppo guys and let them give it to the FBI. But why don't they just tell the FBI directly? Because they're not supposed to be spying on presidential campaigns. That doesn't say opposition research folks can't. Folks, what's about to come out is that the FBI spying operation started by the Oppo research firm that was clearly given information by intelligence insiders to give to the FBI to open up a federal case. The reason they opened up the federal case and got the FISA warrant was to cover their tracks. The FISA warrant, Joe, was going to be a legal predicate for all of the illicit spying that happened in the past and was going to be the cover story for them.
Right.
Because this information was out there via illicit means from foreign partners. Now they can say, oh, no, we didn't get that from them. We got it from the FBI. Remember the FISA warrant? Look, it was all legal. The FISA warrant was started because of Oppo research that I'm sure was sourced to people in the intel community illegally spying on the Trump team.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.